ClementsHomebrew, coming at ya. Coming at you with an epic beer today. Absolutely epic. And it is. It's from Epic Brewing. It's the Brainless on Cherries. I've been wanting to try this, and this is release number 14. And this one boasts a big 11.4% ABV. And anyone that might be familiar with this, and if you're not, this series has been kind of interesting. They did a change up from the first 4 to 5 beyond on how this is brewed. It's a pretty high ABV beer, and it's made with a high percentage of sweet to tart cherry, so some more sweet cherries, and they put that into a puree, so 100% cherry. It's made with German Pilsner malts, Maris Otter, I should say, carapils, flaked oats, and candy sugar. And then the puree, that 100% puree that they made, is put into a second fermentation in red wine French oak barrels, okay, and then further fermented with a champagne yeast. So this is considered a Belgian dark, strong ale. They don't get specific, so I assume there's a primary fermentation where they've put in a Belgian yeast, and then you've got that second fermentation in the red wine French oak barrels with the cherry puree, where they put in now champagne yeast. Wow. I mean, I don't know what else to say. This does pour more almost like a champagne, and it's very clear. It's the color's hard to describe. It's someplace from a copper to a hint of like a rust color in it, and you can kind of see that. Really beautiful. Look at the bubbles on that coming up. I wanted to put in a big glass. It's kind of fun. You can see the bubbles went away quickly. But yeah, it would compare more to like a champagne in the pour. One thing I want to mention, that the style that it's put into is a Belgian strong ale. So that's the same category as the likes of like Rochefort 10 or St. Bernardus Apt 12, or even Russian River Salvation. But obviously, with the champagne yeast and the cherries, it's going to be quite different. So let's get a nose on this. I'm sorry, I can't. My expressions give me away every time. This is fun. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I do get. It is an interesting cross between like maybe a lambic beer and to a champagne, in that range. But it strikes me more like a lambic kind of, because you've got these sweet fruit flavors, and I'm getting like I got some like maybe apple, cherry. I think I got a hint of strawberry off that. Oh, there are probably some other fruits I'm not quite catching, but I think that's a pretty good representation. Apple, cherry, strawberry. I get a little bit of a Belgian funk, like a haygrass funk, just lightly on that as well. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there is a nice funk on that. You get a little bit of a hint of the red wine oak, but not a great deal on the nose. Maybe a little more oak than I realized. I could sniff this one for a while. This is really this is really fun aroma on this one. Cheers. We're gonna get into this. Wow, it dries off on the palate. Not quite the same as the champagne, but much like that. The tastes on it are really interesting. I am very much picking up the wine off that. The oak barrels they primarily use, as I understand, are carbonated Syrah, and I do get a sense of the wine. There's no question that you get a sense of the wine. There's definitely some cherries on it. It's more of a hint. It's not a strong cherry. It's not a super sweet cherry. The beer is somewhat sweet, but I wouldn't say that it's a super sweet beer. I mean, it kind of dries out. This is fun. It's really a completely different taste. It's very difficult to describe. There's a little bit of a jamminess to it. Again, it reminds me a little bit of a lambic, but not so sweet. Like I said, it dries out. Not as strong. You can tell the cherries are there. Again, it's not a sweet cherry. It's more of a. It comes out in the essence, like the aroma in your mouth, but it's not like what you normally think about when you're getting cherries. It would be more like if you think of a champagne and you had a pink champagne where there were supposedly some cherries in it, and it's kind of a hint of it there, but it's this real dry, light flavor. What a different beer. What a different style. You know, I don't think I can really rate this in terms of a Belgian dark ale, because this is nothing like a Belgian dark ale. You do get a sense of the alcohol, in the same sense that you might get from a champagne that was really light, but it doesn't feel real alcoholic. You get a lot of tannins in it. You know, you get a sense of the wood, of the oak in it. But you almost, like I say, you have to go more to wine descriptors on it. You get just a hint of funk, just a hint, but not really so much in the taste, more in the nose. Very fun. Thoroughly enjoying this. This would be a fantastic brew to put in a decanter and throw it on the table at Thanksgiving. Just not tell people. They would have no idea this was a beer. They would think that you pulled out something really crazy, fun, kind of a wine, sparkling wine, is what they would think. How am I going to rate this? The category is a Belgian dark strong ale. Again, this is a company that's broken the boundaries. They had to throw it into a category, but it really doesn't fall in that category. It's in a category of its own. So we're going to just give this an overall rating. I'm gonna sip on this a little longer, and I'm gonna come back with that rating. Wow. Again, this can't really be described as a Belgian dark ale, but what a fun beer. To appreciate this, you've probably got to be someone who either likes one of three categories at least. Either you enjoy wines, particularly unique wines like fruit type wines, but not on the harsh, big sweet end. Maybe Rieslings, things of that category. Or you'd have to be someone that likes champagnes. That having been said, though, I'm giving this one an 88. My very good category. It's really tough to categorize in with beers, but I'm going to finish my glass. I'm going to push some air out and cork that just like I would a bottle of wine and finish this off tonight, because I got to do some more work still. And let me just say one thing, folks. Life is too short to drink cheap beer. And I'll see you on another beer review.